authorities in Nasarawa State take destiny into their hands to put an end to security challenges. On special assignment, Correspondent examines past, present and future of the National Arts Theatre. Lagos flood victims to get relief from federal government for food security, plus health benefits of a versatile and delicious fruit. It's a delight we're all back again on the Correspondents. Thanks for joining us. I'm Najat Atutijani. Welcome. Let's begin with an update on security from Nasarawa State, where communities worst hit by criminal activities are building more confidence and coming to terms with the axiom that says security is everybody's business. Correspondents are added to Awal Sali, who reports that the various initiatives are beginning to yield positive results.
In the quest for survival of Nasarawa State as a geopolitical entity are challenges which may appear daunting but are never insurmountable. That is why stakeholders are putting heads together to fight kidnapping, banditry, and armed robbery affecting parts of the state. This is coming against the backdrop of government commitment to provide peaceful and conducive atmosphere for industrialization and other activities, as well as harmonious coexistence. If security is everybody's business, so be it, as the State Council of Chiefs has taken the bull by the horn to rally round the participation of their people to fight criminality. Chairman of the Council and Emir of Lafia, Justice Muhammad Sidi Bagi, and Governor Abdullahi Sule say stakeholders should continue to speak with one voice on the task ahead.
We cannot say that as fathers of the land we sit back when we see some of our children have gone the other side of the road and we leave the matter to go like that. We have to do something, and that is why we are gathered today. We will tell each other the truth.
In addition to thanking you, I also want to call on you to fish out all these people who are not interested in ensuring that we have peace in the areas of kidnapping and banditry. I strongly believe with your support, your guidance, your knowledge of the society, you will be able to assist us in that area.
As the clarion call, groups and communities are responding positively as herders and farmers whose operations also suffer the consequences of insecurity are not left out in preparing solutions and involving strategies.
They will be kidnapping our members. Our Fulani are 75% victims in Nasarawa State. They used to say they kidnap our people, they will kidnap people and go and pay at least ransom of 5 million, 3 million. You will sell 40 cows, 50 cows to go and rescue your brother. Tomorrow, see, they will go to another Fulani settlement and kidnap.
Similarly, residents are becoming more aware of responsibilities amid security challenges.
We are having the local vigilante group. We are really doing our best to curtail all the minor crime happening in our place. Sometimes we have a group, we don't sleep, we share ourselves. Today you work, tomorrow the others. And we are getting good results.
Yes, we as a community people too, we can also contribute by what if we see something that is going wrong, we can easily call the attention of our security people to let them know about it. Yes.
In our area, if we see any stranger that we don't know, we do report or complain to the authorities. And we form vigilante group around our area. We go on patrol from time to time. So that's what we do along where I live.
We have something like a police relation committee. So it is good that they work hand in hand. And we have vigilante too in this area. So with that cooperation, I think they contribute immensely.
In the area of infrastructural development, the federal government with Nasarawa State places priority in supporting security agencies improve their operations. This is evident with new structures of the Army, Police, and Air Force.
That's interesting, Sa'adatu. We now know that fighting insecurity depends on people's attitude. When people cooperate with each other and speak with one voice, criminality will be minimal. We hope that other communities will learn from this experience. Thanks a lot. Now let's take you to Lagos, and the destination is the National Arts Theatre. It's a symbolic monument for performing arts and other forms of entertainment in Nigeria. Following years of neglect, the theatre lost its glory. It was therefore a revolutionary move when the Bankers Committee, under the supervision of the Central Bank of Nigeria, took over the management of the historic asset for rehabilitation. Correspondent Abolade Salami examines the state of the center in the past, present and future.
Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, takes pride in its artistry and cultural diversity. It was to further elevate performing arts among nations of the continent that the National Arts Theatre was conceived and constructed in 1976. A year after its inauguration, the magnificent structure hosted Africa's best and finest, who converged on Lagos for the epic Festac 77. The beauty of the auditorium was complemented by local and foreign performance, as well as teeming audiences. Photo of the Coliseum circulated in the mass media long after the festival. However, as the years went by, its beauty began to fade, just as attendance diminished, until it became just a visible memory.
National Theatre has remained what it was in the late 80s till now. Nobody has put a kobo to maintain this place, this iconic facility. Nobody has done anything about it. And suddenly something very marvelous is coming to happen in our time, where National Theatre is going to be taken to a new height. What could be better than this? Nothing could be better than this.
Resuscitating the National Arts Theatre has been the dream of successive administrations. Although proposals and efforts were made towards achieving this plan, none restored the dignity of the edifice. For a lasting solution, the present administration has taken the bull by the horn.
Contrary to what naysayers are stating, no one is hijacking the National Theatre. It remains our national heritage. This public-private partnership is a win-win for all. It restores this iconic edifice to its glory days, which we have been able to do on our own, and it develops the land that has been lying fallow for over 4 decades.
The new public-private partnership, which has the financial backing of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Bankers Committee, aims to hand over a modern entertainment arena.
This was a critical factor behind the Bankers Committee and the CBN's decision, following our annual retreat in December 2018, to set up the Creative Industry and Financing Initiative with a major focus on 4 pillars, namely music, movie, fashion and information technology. Our goal is to support startups and existing businesses across these 4 pillars, as well as foster the development of a Nigerian Creative Industry Center in 4 major cities. Towards the realization of this objective, the CBN and Bankers Committee intend to support this venture for the redevelopment and transformation of this National Arts Theatre with over 25 billion naira of its initial funding.
Performing artists are excited and appreciative of the federal government's passion for the industry, which the notes inspired the resuscitation of the famous entertainment citadel.
This present day and present time that the federal government and the Lagos state government with the CBN and the Bankers Committee are looking towards that direction, it's a welcome idea.
I'm hoping, seriously hoping that all the promises made, will be fulfilled.
Going by the blueprint, the National Arts Theatre will be relaunched in 18 months.
That was our correspondent, Abolade Salami, who has been following the latest development on the National Arts Theatre. He now joins us from Lagos via phone call. It's great to connect with you, Abolade.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Hatu.
Now, in the past, the National Arts Theatre was known as the place to be. What happened? What led to the decline over the years?
Thank you so much, Nadia. So, as you rightly said, the theatre was known for a home of fun, a home for creative activities, where we had theatres, where we had performing artists come to stage to perform, where we had a lot of activities going on at the National Arts Theatre. But something else came up and it went down the drain. Activities were no longer going on in the National Arts Theatre, where we used to know, where we used to have much of activities before. And what we had instead of performing arts, we had churches, we had food vendors coming to the National Arts Theatre to sell food, and then churches come on Sunday to perform their services. And when questions were asked that what led to this, what we got from those who were managing the National Arts Theatre was because of the level of neglect to the monuments that we had as a pride to our country. So, and when they said things were no longer happening at the National Arts Theatre, people now prefer to go to malls, people prefer to go to cinema halls to see movies rather than come to where they originally built for these activities to come on. The structures were going down, some of the ceilings were off, the main bowl where they used to have much attendance, the chairs were pulling off, activities were no longer going on in the National Arts Theatre. Nobody could just explain the main reason why this happened. All we just found out was that the National Arts Theatre became a ghost ground, became a place where nothing much was happening anymore.
Yeah, because from what you've described, you're also saying that wrong usage led to its decline over the years.
Yes, because what it was originally built for was no longer going on there. So some other people took advantage to display their wares, to sell food. Some took little part of the building for church activities, rather than for performing arts, rather than for people who were in the creative industry to come and showcase their talent. This weren't happened.
Okay, let me cut you there. Let me cut you there and ask this. Now that the private sector has stepped in to give the place a facelift, what is the ambience now like?
Yes, the whole event started last year when the CBN governor and the bankers committee, as well as the Lagos State governor, came to the center and they had a tour around the center to see what was really happening, to see what was happening to the national asset. And it was there they concluded that they were going to take over, but on to the approval of the federal government. Everyone who work in the National Theatre, none of them will lose their job. Rather, more jobs will be created.
That's actually quite encouraging to hear. Now, like many Nigerians and members of the entertainment industry, many are hopeful that the monument will become vibrant and economically viable. Now, what do you think?
I cannot just wait for the National Theatre to be back in 18 months. After that event, I went out, I spoke with some theatre artists, and what I got from them was all positive. They were all in high spirit. They were all happy that for the monument to regain its lost glory, it's a pride to our nation. It's a pride to our country. So they are so happy that they cannot even wait for the 18 months for the National Arts Theatre to be back. But they want to be back to the National Arts Theatre. They want to perform again live on stage. They want to see Nigerian youth bring out this creativity that is in us. They want to see it come out. So I am not a performing artist, but those who I spoke with, they could not just hide their joy. They were all just telling me that they wish 18 months can just be tomorrow, that they want the National Arts Theatre to be returned and the National Arts Theatre to be back to life.
Now it's really exciting to hear that so many people are excited. And on that interesting note, Abolade, we've come to the end of the interview session. Thanks for really updating us in this area.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we'll get back to this report as soon as work progresses on the theatre. Still to come, economic and health benefits of coconut. Join us again.
The coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, has been declared by the World Health Organization as a global pandemic. While clinical trials are ongoing for a vaccine and a possible cure, there is no known treatment for the coronavirus. Nigeria has recorded some of these cases, and people are advised to take these preventive measures to keep themselves safe and contain the further spread of the virus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water or use hand sanitizers all the time. Maintain social distancing. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice respiratory hygiene. If you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early. Do not panic. Stop the spread of unconfirmed news. Follow the official government news outlets and report all cases immediately. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Welcome back to the Correspondents. Let's take you to Zamfara State, where relief is coming the way of farmers who are victims of flood, as the federal government promises that all mechanisms have been put in place to ensure direct allocation of COVID-19 palliatives and fertilizer to farmers affected by flooding across the country. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidia Umar Farouk, was in Gusau, Zamfara State, to inspect the warehouses where the products are kept for onward distribution to beneficiaries. Correspondent Ilyasu Ali Yakubu tells us more.
130,000 vulnerable households in Zamfara State are currently benefiting from the federal government conditional cash transfer of 5,000 naira monthly as COVID-19 lockdown palliative. The Humanitarian Affairs Minister commended Zamfara State Government for providing an enabling environment for the smooth conduct of the exercise. She said already more than 130 trailer loads of grains have been delivered to the state to cushion the effects of COVID-19 lockdown, in addition to other empowerment programs being executed in the state.
Well, so far so good. This is just the first phase of the process, which is we have handed over the palliatives to the state government for onward distribution to the poor and vulnerable, including persons living with disabilities in the state. We have brought in 102.5 trucks of grains, and then we also have some fertilizers in the other stores for distribution to the farmers in the state. So this is just the first phase. The next is for the state government official, together with the federal government official, will now sit down and work out the modality for the distribution, for the onward distribution.
Yes, talking about distribution, your Honourable Minister, diversion and racketeering is one major challenge, bedeviling smooth distribution. What other mechanisms have you put in place, to curtail this?
We have all the critical stakeholders on board. We have even the security agencies that are going to be part of this committee that will do the distribution. So I'm very optimistic that we will not have such cases. And in any way, the state is also committed to seeing that the poor and the vulnerable in the state are being catered for adequately.
Zamfara State has in recent times been experiencing bandit attacks that resulted in the death and displacement of its citizens, as well as destruction of property worth billions of naira. From Gusau in Zamfara State, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
Nigerians are looking forward to a bumper harvest and food sufficiency in the face of COVID-19. Thanks a lot, Ilyasu. Now, I'm sure the next story will be of interest to you. Do you like coconuts? The coconut is a delicious and versatile fruit enjoyed by people all over the world. Despite its name, it's actually a type of fruit known as a drupe. Nearly 1/3 of the world's population depend on it for nutrition and trade, as every part of the fruit is useful for human needs. In this special report, correspondent Udwake Tim highlights the economic and health benefits of the coconut to mankind. And with commitment in cultivation, it can contribute to the GDP of the country.
Coconuts are the large seeds of coconut palms, known in botanical name as Cocos nucifera, which grow in tropical climates. Their brown fibrous husk conceal the meat, which is the white edible flesh inside. The fruit, which has recently increased in popularity for its flavor and uses, can also be purchased in the markets or road, as different sizes are always displayed on the table or ground. Although most people eat both the fresh and dried flesh of coconuts because of its sweet taste.
Coconut is nourishing to the body. It's a very good spice in cooking, especially coconut rice, and some people take just the water for calming down the system. Personally, I eat both, the fresh and the dry one, depending on what I'm using to eat. Like the fresh one, I can eat it without anything, but the dry one, I can use it with tapioca, or perhaps I use it to prepare coconut rice.
Even though the sun shines, some people normally feel thirsty. So instead of them buying pure water, some people normally like the coconut water.
I like the coconut because it's good. The water will help me because it's like my head is turning somehow. So if I drink it, it's okay for me.
I sell coconut. This one is 200 naira. This one is 100 naira. This one is 150. Coconut is sweet.
Unlike many other fruits which contains vitamins and minerals, coconut is a unique fruit that has a wide range of health benefits.
Because of its bulk nature, it contains a lot of fiber, and that helps in digestion, helps to clear the bowels, and helps to reduce accumulation of unhealthy bacteria. Then it has other functions. One of the important ones is that it helps to increase insulin production in the body, and that helps to reduce blood sugar, and it can help to prevent or delay the development of diabetes, which is common in this environment. It's a very healthy fruit. Natural products are very healthy. And another thing about coconut is that it has its maximum benefit when taken in its natural form. So I encourage it. I eat it a lot in its natural form, and even in rice and other foods. So I advise everybody to take advantage of this commonly available food that has so much health benefits to us.
Having known the role of coconut in food production and raw materials for industry, as well as income generation, the Akwa Ibom state government has recently flagged off the planting of coconuts in Ekeya, Okobo local government area, with the intention to meet up with the over 300,000 daily requirements for its coconut refinery project when completed.
And presently, the coconut refinery is about 95% completion. That refinery will need raw materials, that is the input, and which is coconut, and that is why he encouraged all to cultivate coconut. In Akwa Ibom State, we have a coconut plantation in Korobasi and Eastern Ebolo, which we've cultivated about 2,000 hectares of coconut. And of course, not only in these areas that we have the plantation, we only extend to other local government areas like Kobo local government areas. We are also planting coconut.
Nigerians are encouraged to key into coconut planting for both economic and health benefits.
Wow, such enormous benefits of coconut. I feel like grabbing one to eat. Thanks so much, Udwa. That was quite interesting. And on that delicious note, we conclude this edition of The Correspondents. Hope to see you again next week. Thanks for your time. Remember to follow the Twitter handle at FUOLUANTA #Correspondents. Don't forget to use the hashtag NTA Correspondents whenever you make a comment or ask a question. And a quick reminder that COVID-19 is real and spreading fast. Remember to maintain personal hygiene by washing your hands with soap under running water every 20 minutes and abide by the social distancing rule. Take responsibility and stay safe, and see you again next week.